right, guys. Well, I was just talking about him, that if there was one person I could be friends with on the show, it would be this man. And it's because I love him so much. And I know you do too. So please give it up for a warm welcome for Mr. Misha Collins! Hi, Vancouver. Hi, how are you?
My question is, I'm really looking forward to Gotham Knights, and after playing Castielsa for so long, is it hard to get used to playing a new character, and is there anything about Harvey Dent that you can tease?
It is a little unusual getting, I notice myself doing things every once in a while, and I'm like, oh my God, that's force of habit. You are not playing Cass, young man. And you go back there and you do that take again. And you think about what you've done. So it does in little insidious ways, just like when you step in front of the camera and you hear action, it's like a Pavlovian dog. Like at a certain point, I'm like, right, got it, action. Hello, Dean. Oh, wait. That's not what I'm doing. So it has been interesting, but it also is quite lovely playing a character that's like an actual human. I mean, ironically, he's going to become something of a, whatever. I'm teasing something, as you requested. What do you want me to tell you? I'll tell you anything.
Just whatever you're allowed to share. I'm
not allowed to share anything, so let's just dispense with the pleasantries and cut to what I'm not allowed to do. I feel quite lucky with how the character is being written. It's got a lot of layers. And we're getting to see, every single time I've talked about Gotham Knights on stage at a convention, I have gotten a phone call from an executive. So I'm just parsing my words carefully. It turns out, so with the whole Batman universe and DC Comics and all of that, they really care about their intellectual property. And they don't want all of the secrets revealed until things show up on screen. With Supernatural, nobody gave a fuck. You can do whatever you want. What is cool about what we're doing with Gotham Knights, just from the vantage point of my character, is that the on-screen versions of Harvey Dent that we've seen so far are kind of like this sudden snap. Like we just see him snap and become Two-Face. And yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. What we're doing is we're exploring like what causes that, like what's underneath it all, and getting to like really slow it down and break it down into its constituent parts, and it's kind of awesome. I love it. It's really interesting and fun, and it's like being in therapy for your character. So anyway, if I don't get fired, you're gonna see some cool stuff.
Thank you.
Hi, Misha. I'm a big fan of a lot of what you've done off screen as well, including during lockdown. Gish was really fun, I know, for me, and probably a lot of people have great fun and connect with people around the world. So my question to you was, if Sam, Dean and Cass were in a Gish team, what tasks, maybe real or imagined, do you think they'd excel at, and what do you think they'd be absolutely hopeless at?
So, for those of you who don't know, Gish is a scavenger hunt that I run and have been running for a long time. And we do all kinds of strange items in it. And I think Sam, Dean, and Cass would excel at things that involve exorcisms or violence. We have a lot of items in Gish that require hand-to-hand combat and violence. They probably wouldn't be as good at like connect with an older relative and find out one of the early childhood memories that were meaningful to them and share that on Instagram. Those type of items, first of all, they don't have Instagram accounts as far as I know. They should have. Did we never do that? Did we never do, like we did the French mistake, right? Where Misha was on Twitter. Was that the only time we were on? Oh, really? What, people always ask, like, what do you wish you explored more on Supernatural that you didn't, like, get deep enough into? Social media is obviously the answer. Can you imagine if Dean was like, dude, post that video again of you. Oh man, I can't believe they blocked me because of the decapitation. Dean was on a what?
Oh, yeah.
A dating app. That's different.
Isn't that right?
It is different, yeah. Did you think that Twitter was a dating app? How's that going for you?
Yeah.
Cool. Sammy, what's the view count on that photo that you posted of the hex bag? That's awesome, man. You should cross-post that. Hi.
Hello.
Nobody cut in front of you this time. That's so nice.
That's so nice. I was wondering if you had 8 ounces of water and you took a tablespoon and put it in 8 ounces of red wine. No, that's not my question.
Do you know the answer to the
No.
question?
No. I haven't had enough sleep to know the answer.
It's funny because I don't know why I just posted. When I was in 6th grade when that question was presented to me, and then I got the answer wrong. The question is, if you have a glass of water and a glass of wine, they're exactly the same volumes. And you take a tablespoon of the wine, you put it in the water, you mix it up. You take a tablespoon of the water with a little bit of wine in it, you put it back in the water, you mix it up. Is there more water in the wine in the water, or are they equal? This is, I know, fascinating and just why you wanted to come to this event. But it was a question that I got when I was in 6th grade, and I got it wrong. And then my teacher explained it, and I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And I recently shared it with a cast member on Gotham Knights. And she got it wrong, just like I did when I was 11. And then I posted the question on social media, and she posted a reply, which was, Misha, I'm so sick of you. We haven't known each other long, but she's already sick of me. And by the way, that's just, it's earned. She should be sick of me. But she didn't post any context, like, I have already given her this question, like, why do I keep harping on this thing that I learned in 6th grade? I've already given her the question, now she's seeing it on social media. But she got this litany of replies to her reply, like, but basically, let's call it what it is. Supernatural fans trying to kill her. Hating her for saying this. And she said, oh my God, I can't believe you've been doing this for 15 years. And then I composed a response to defend her to post on Instagram. And then I decided, nah, that's kind of fun.
My true question is...
Yes, I'm sorry.
There was a screening last night of The French Mistake, and...
Oh, was there?
There was.
Here?
And we've heard J2 talk about their experience of not wanting to play themselves, but wanting to play Sam and Dean. during that episode, they were fine with it. But you really played a character of Misha, and one of my favorite parts is how your voice gets higher the longer the episode goes on, until it's really quite high. And if you had any thoughts about what you brought to your fictionalized Misha and how that experience was for you.
Well, I read the script. First of all, there was like all of like lawyers involved. It was very complicated because I guess some various complicated legal things are triggered when you start portraying yourself on a fictional show. So they had to get all kinds of approvals. It was very onerous. They had to be very careful about it. But we were all like, yeah, let's do this. It sounds great. And then we got the first script. And Ben Edlund had written the script, and I read it and I was like, I like it, but could we make the Misha character like the quintessential, this is a direct quote, the quintessential douchey Hollywood actor? And Ben was like, oh, I love that. And he like sent back minor, like one minor tweak, but basically there was no change, which... I was like, oh, I see, okay. Okay, I'm gonna recalibrate right now. And then I added in a few things like the hair and makeup people are working on me and I push them away, or ignoring the PA who says goodnight to me, or various different things that I tried to like feather in to make the character feel more douchey. I mean, it's funny because I was like, you know, hola, mis amigos, which is like, come on, how douchey is that? But then like, I also was calling my fans minions at that point, which is, let's admit it, kind of douchey. And I meet people all the time now who are like, hey, hola, I'm a mis amigo, and I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? You know, Jared had those like, we were all playing heightened versions of ourselves, but it was satire, but it was good satire because it was actually leaning into our bona fide personality traits. Like Jared had those giant portraits of himself, right, on the wall, which of course is ridiculous, and he didn't have those, right, until after the episode when he took them home. So after that episode aired, my manager at the time, who didn't watch my stuff very often, was like, hey Misha, I happened to watch that episode where you were playing yourself. And I have to say, it was so nice to just see you playing yourself.
You're fired.
Yep. So I learned a lot about myself in that process, which was cool. That episode was a lot of fun for us because it operated on many different levels. Like you could watch it and not know anything about the show, and it's still like so weird and kind of funny that you get something out of it. And then if you're a real fan of the show, it has other layers that you get. And then if you're a crew member on the show, or a cast member, there are lots of Easter eggs in that episode that are just for you. Like you would have to have worked on the show to know a lot of the inside jokes about the crew members and things like that were in there. So it was a genius episode. It was quite genius. Yeah. I haven't seen it in a long. I would have loved to have been here for that. Nobody invited me. Nobody asked you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Bonnie from Seattle.
Hi. Did you drive up here as well?
I did, at night.
Uh-huh.
It was hard. So I had a different question, but then you
Does your
mentioned-
car have lights?
It does.
So not that hard.
Still very
Yeah,
dark.
okay.
Very dark. For 3.5 hours. Okay, so I had another question, but then you mentioned Wes, which made me think, do you have a personality trait that you are now seeing in your son that's causing you to say, oh shit, I'm in trouble?
You mean, am I seeing something of myself in my son?
Yes.
No, he's dodging that bullet. He's his own person. He is extremely disciplined, which is not like me at all. But he does this thing where he said, you know how I set a New Year, every year I set New Year's resolutions. And they can be, I don't know, they range from diet to exercise to meditation to whatever, like some sort of new regime that I'm gonna follow this year, hell or high water. And by like January 14th, I've stopped. So I guess West saw me, every year I write like goals for the year, and I have like a little ritual around the new year. And West saw me doing that, and he's like, I'm gonna do this too. I'm gonna set a New Year's resolution and stick to it. And so he did a New Year's resolution of like, I'm gonna do 50 curls on each arm he's like, I wanna get stronger. So I'm gonna do 50 curls on each arm every day. And he did not miss a single day. And he went from curl, he was like, 11 when he did this. He went from curling 10 pounds to curling 25 pounds, which is what I was curling when I was in college. So we're cut from a different cloth, me and that kid. But I don't know. I noticed that he and I are like, he's 12 now, and we chat on the phone most nights, and he and I are like starting to converge on a sense of humor. So we have like these absurd conversations that are just like escalating in absurd scenarios, and both of us play it very dry and straight. And I'm like, oh, you're a total wiener like me. It's so great. It's nice, like having do you have kids?
Yes, I do. I have a daughter.
How old is she?
26.
It's nice when they're like starting to get to the age where you're feathering in friend, Like I'm half parent, half friend now, which is a nice place to be, I think.
I'm still there.
You're still there?
Yeah.
Half parent, half,
Friend,
so you have to stay parent, huh?
Yeah.
Shit,
Well,
okay.
She still sees me as her parent.
She doesn't realize that you're her parent. Oh, she does see you as a
She
parent.
still sees me as her mom, and it's still there.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's nice too, in its own way. Cool, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. Hi.
Hi. First, thank you so much for all your activism in the world. I really appreciate everything that you've been doing and how you let us help. That's really good.
Thanks for saying that, but shouldn't you be apologizing for that schedule comment earlier?
Sorry. Nope. I've got a crooked halo. I'm working on it. Also, epaulets suit you. They look very nice.
Thanks.
I was wondering, when you go...
Are you talking about my sweater?
Yes.
Epaulets, they're called?
Yes.
I thought you said epilepsy, and I was like, what?
I've
What did I say?
already embarrassed myself once today. I'm not going to do it again.
This sweater is cashmere. I'm not bragging, but I want you to know that it's like a fancy sweater. And I bought it, this was like 3 years ago, I bought it, and I brought it home, and the next door neighbor kid, Miles, was over playing with my kids. And Miles, at the time, he had a little bit of impulse control. I said something about like sitting down or getting to the table or something as I was making them dinner, and Miles ran up to me and bit me in the back.
Wow.
Like a wild fucking animal. And he literally bit a hole. I don't know if you can see it, but he bit a hole like in a cartoon where there's a dog and it takes a bit of the fabric in its mouth. Like brand new $300 cashmere sweater, this kid came and bit a hole in it. And I was like, oh no. I'm not throwing this sweater out just because it has a hole bitten in it. So, sewed it up. So now I like it even more because I know that this is the sweater that a child bit through.
I'm a knitter, so I really
You get it.
appreciate
Yeah.
that story.
This is my epileptic sweater. Hi.
So my question is, what is the biggest difference working on Gotham Knights versus Supernatural, like either how the set is run or just how the show is run, besides the obvious no Jared?
The professionalism. That's it. It's the professionalism. We do scenes where every party in the scene is just trying to do the best job they can on the scene. So that's the most stark difference. I can't believe we actually got a television show made at all. With the fucking around we did. It is amazing. The very first thing I remember, the very first exchange I remember having with Jared was, I don't even remember what the scene was, but it was very early on. And we did a take of a scene, and he came up to me and he said, you know, we were rolling on that. And I'm like this new kid on this new show. And I was like, oh my God, did I really fuck it up that bad? Is it that bad? He was like, yeah, we were actually rolling, you know. Did you think we were just rehearsing just now? And it occurred to me, like, working on Gotham Knights, like these guest stars come in, which is what I was at the time. And they're all like super nervous and just want to do the best job, and they're super worried about like messing up their lines, or heaven forbid, one of the stars of the show not liking what they're doing. And Jared just like zeroed in. He was like, dude, you know we were actually filming when we just did. You're not going to do it like that again, are you? There's nothing you can do to undermine a show more than to make a comment like that. And that was just the very tip of the iceberg. It was fun to then, I mean, it's funny because we talk about Supernatural, like, oh my God, it was such a great cast and crew. Everybody really loved each other and supported each other and tried their hardest to fuck each other up as much as possible. We always leave that part out when we're describing it, but that was a definite through line. Like, I was just thinking about our camera operator, Brad Creaser, who I can't tell you how many times it was like a close-up on me. When you're doing a close-up, the other actor often wedges right up next to the camera so that the eye line, when you're talking, like when I'm talking to Jared, if the camera's on me and it's a close-up, Jared will be, if this is the camera, Jared's face might be like half behind the camera, like that close to it, right? Because it makes it look better for the eye line if I'm looking right next to the camera. But while he was doing that, he would be doing things like, for instance, having a pair of tweezers and plucking out ear hair from our camera operator's ear, who's holding, it's a handheld shot, and he's holding the camera, and Jared, in between saying his dialogue, is plucking out ear hair, and Brad is like, trying, you know the expression white knuckling it? Like for sure, white knuckling it, trying his hardest not to mess up by shaking, laughing, flinching. He just has to try to stay still while this monster is pulling the, and I am in the close-up trying not to laugh, watching what I'm seeing. It was a really challenging environment to work in. We don't have that on Gotham Knights. None of the cast members have tweezers, ever. Anyway, yeah.
My question is, well, I'm like a really big fan of all the other stuff you do as well as the acting. So I was wondering if like Cory Booker hit you up and was like, hey, if I get in the White House, will you be like communications director? Would you take it?
Sure. I would also just do his laundry if he happily. Hi.
Hi. Are you having fun?
Yes, are you?
Every minute is excruciating.
But in all seriousness, I really respect all the work that you do for Random Acts and your scavenger hunt. I think that's really, really awesome of you. I respect you a lot for that.
Thank you.
And I'm wondering, did you ever figure out if the pizza man truly loves the
I knew there
babysitter?
other, yeah. I could feel the setup coming here. Did I ever figure out if the pizza man did what?
Truly loves the baby.
Truly loves the babysitter.
That's a fantastic question. Good on you. I actually think we would have to, maybe we could arrange this tonight after the concert. We could do another
Whoa.
screening and see the footage, the original footage of the pizza man and the babysitter. And collectively determine if we saw real sparks flying there. That's a great idea.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
It's funny to think that Eric Kripke wrote that, right? And then went on to do The Boys,
Termite?
which is actual pornography. He no longer has to talk about it, like show someone reacting to it. He can just have the whole audience react to it, you know?
Tell him he needs a pizza man and the boys.
Oh my God, it's genius.
It actually kind of is. A superhero pizza.
What an opportunity missed. They should have done that in that porn scene. There should have been a whole pizza man, babysitter role play going on. I'm still talking to you. Don't walk away from me. I'm still talking to you about pornography. She's running. She's coming back. Oh, she's leaving. Tease. Hi.
Hi, my name's Mandy. I'm from Seattle.
Hi, Mandy.
What was your mother right about?
Nothing. My mom was right about a lot of things. She was a total fuck up in a lot of ways, and a real visionary in a lot of ways. She taught me to be iconoclastic and not to follow rules, and to be very independent and self-assured in the world in a way that I don't think is common, certainly not anymore. I mean, she was fine with me, you know, hitchhiking to school when I was in grammar school, and gave me the feeling that I could like navigate the world safely if I kept my head about me, and gave me so much. There was just so much independence in our childhood, which was really great. Like we would just get on our bikes and disappear for the day, and go out like deep into the woods on our own, and that was really great. Like I see my own kids, and they're still a little bit nervous at 12 years old and 10 years old about crossing the street. I'm like, I was trying to steal cars when I was your age. But she did things that I think were really great. Like she said to me when I was 14, she was like, you know, Misha, you don't have to go to high school if you don't want. And I was like, that was really the right thing for me to hear, because I think she probably knew this, but I was like, no, I want to go to high school, but it was my decision. Like she gave me so much autonomy and treated me like I could make decisions for myself, and I think that really helped me a lot. Yeah, I had an unusual childhood. Like we were homeless a lot when I was a kid, and we were doing things that I think we would hitchhike all over the place. Like we'd hitchhike as a family to get around. And that sounds really crazy, but it also makes somebody feel like they can pretty much do anything in the world and be okay. And it was really nice to also have no money and see that you can be just fine with no money. I still have this attitude about money where I'm like, well, you can take all my money, but I'll be okay, you know? Not that attached to it, which is kind of a nice feeling to go about life with. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Misha. Have you watched anything of the Winchesters yet? And if you were asked, would you like to be on it?
I have not yet watched it, but I intend to. What, 2 or 3 episodes have aired? 2? 2. Yes, I will watch it. So I've been saving it. And I would certainly love to be on the Winchesters. I would love to play Sam Winchester. That'd be amazing. They would immediately not only cancel the show, but the network itself would fold. Hi. You're up.
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
What are you
You're
like-
dressed as the Pimpmobile.
The Lincoln Continental, actually.
Yes.
Yes, I am. That is true. What are you going to give me for my birthday?
A stern talking to.
Pizza sounds like a good answer to that question.
I'm actually lactose intolerant.
There's such a thing as vegan pizza.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Fill her with gas? I don't know.
I look forward to pressing your
Wiper
buttons.
blade shape?
And on that
And with
note,
that,